Hi everyone, in this video we're going to talk about recovery after disc bulges. In this video I have a special guest, one of my patients, Kevin, who lives in USA and he works in a healthcare industry. He's a healer, he's a massage therapist, and he works over 15 years. And he contacted me 12 weeks ago after an episode of back pain that he was bothered for a couple of rounds, and he finally found out he has a lumbar disc bulges, L4, L5, L5S1, and L3, L4 as well. But it was a broad base disc bulge that was really put him on flat, and he wasn't able to do anything and go back to his work. He was a bit concerned about, and he was pretty panicked about it initially when he contacted me. But in this video, we go pretty much in depth. It's a bit long video. I have to excuse that for you guys, but if you're suffering from disc bulges, you can literally learn a lot about what is the recovery plan that we go through in an online consultation and how you can recover if you're suffering from disc bulges, specifically lumbar disc bulges. If you've never been in this channel, my name is Bob. I'm a physical therapist, and the purpose of this channel is to help people like yourself with simple tips and exercises for quicker recovery. If you're suffering from disc bulges, you can go to a lot of resources that I share in this channel. I leave a couple of links below in this video that you can check. If you need further assistance, you can always book an online consultation with me that we can go through a lot of depths and details and provide you a customized plan to get you started right away. Make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update, and don't forget to press that like button. Let's get started. You can win a free online consultation with 3 simple steps as follow. Subscribe my YouTube channel, like and leave a comments on each new videos, explain your injury and why do you need my help. I will announce a winner in a weekly basis. Like literally what we wanted to do, we want to go through your whole story, Kevin, because I suppose
Sure.
maybe introduce yourself to people who listen to this video, watch this video, because I think your case, it was a little bit different case in comparison to my other clients because you work in health industry, you work with people. Maybe introduce yourself with people who are watching this video and tell them what you do and what happened that you contacted me, Kevin.
Sure, absolutely. So, first of all, Bob, thank you for the opportunity and thank you for the work that we've done together because
Not at all, man.
it has literally changed my life. So, for the past 13 years, I've been doing massage, but I've been mixing massage with energy healing, and it's a very physical job, right? So, if your posture
Absolutely.
is not correct, you can easily start to throw things out of balance. With respect to the spine and then how the body works and compensates based on that as well. So many of the massage therapists that I know, all of them are dealing with pain. All of them have
Got you.
disc issues. All of them are feeling some kind of sciatic pain from one point in time to another,
Got
or they're
you.
feeling shoulder impingements and things like that. So for me, my case was, I'm relatively young. I'm 45. I work out. I'm healthy.
Amazing.
But at the same time, wasn't really maintaining my core, wasn't maintaining my posture when I was working. So a lot of stooping and bending
Got
and
you.
kind of like dentists and hairdressers and kind of,
Yes.
rounding the back, and that
Repetitive,
throws
I
off the whole
suppose.
spine.
Strain,
Huh?
repetitive strain, like you constantly
Yes.
doing the same movement through the day
Yeah.
and you working with people. I can understand
And
that.
you don't really notice it until it starts to accumulate. So without doing the stretches, without doing certain exercises to keep the spine flexible and keep it lubricated, you can easily fall into dysfunction. So essentially, that's happened over the past 13 years a few times. And most recently, I had taken a trip. I had been driving 2 days from, the northern parts of the United States down to Southern California, and kind of squished into my seat, and my posture was not correct. So driving 900 some miles with incorrect posture, and my back was really stiff. And so, having a background in medical massage, I know the muscles, I know what to loosen up and how to get things to feel good.
Got
But
you.
this time, all the muscles that were tight because they were trying to hold things together. So I started stretching and massaging and loosening up all the correct muscles without knowing that there was an underlying issue. And after about a week of doing all the stretches, the pain wasn't really alleviating. too much. I was getting a little bit of flexibility, but then one day in the shower, my back was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And I lifted my leg to dry my leg, and my back went out completely.
Got
I
you.
was staying at my parents' house. They literally had to pick me up off the floor and carry me to my bed. It was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt.
Got you.
And I lost an eye when I was 13. So like that, and that was painful. This was a whole nother level.
I got you.
And so I talked to my chiropractor. I had gotten a chiropractic adjustment. After I'd loosened up a bunch of muscles, I got a chiropractic adjustment, but my low back muscles were still nervous and tight. They didn't really
Got
want to
you.
be jerked or anything, but he did that lower back adjustment. And then a day later, that's when my back went out completely.
Got you.
Okay. So then I talked to him and he said, you probably have a disc issue. You should go get an MRI. So I got an MRI and I found out I had a bulging disc, L5S1, 5 millimeters,
Got you.
L4, L5, 2 millimeters, and L3, L4, 3 millimeters.
Got you.
So it was all basically my lumbar spine. And I knew this is from my posture. It's from not keeping up with my stretching. It's from not having a strong core to hold everything together. And I knew then, like, I need help. And so
Got you.
immediately turned to YouTube and I'm looking for
Yeah.
people to give me advice. And I came across your video with that gentleman. I think he might have been Filipino or some Asian descent,
Yeah.
who he had the before and after MRIs
Got you. Yeah. He's in Dubai. Yeah.
in Dubai. Okay.
That's it. He's in Dubai, but he's from India, but he lives in Dubai. Rennie. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he's
Yes.
Indian. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And so his story was very compelling because he was also very fit, he's active, but he had these issues. And then seeing the before and after pictures, because so living in the United States, healthcare system is weird,
I got you.
especially because of insurance. So I'm hesitant to go see a physical therapist here. And that's why I was looking online to see what I
Of
can
course.
learn and do on my own. I have a really good working knowledge of the body and how it
Exactly.
works.
Yep.
And so in so doing, I came across you and I'm like, okay, I think this guy might be different because here in the States, like I was saying, physical therapists, a lot of them are not the ones doing the work on the patients. Physical therapy aides, the assistants to the physical therapists who had just graduated their schooling or whatever the case is,
Got you.
they're doing the work. And I have many people in my family and friends and even clients who have gone to see physical therapists 10, 15, 20 sessions, zero improvement.
I got you.
And so I know that there's in our medical system, doctors, unfortunately, and other professionals, healthcare professionals, tend to milk the system.
I get
So
you.
they want to elongate your treatment. They want to make sure they can get as much money out of you as possible, and they don't really care, honestly,
I
about
got you.
fixing you.
I
And then
get you.
they'll jump to something like, oh, you have arthritis or whatever, and that's not always the case. As a matter of fact, most times it's not the case.
I get
It's
you.
something to do with nerves or discs or joint
Got
dysfunction.
you.
So that's why I was really hesitant to connect with anyone here in the States. So I was trying to do my research on my own. I came across a video with the guy from Dubai. I said, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. And Bob seems to be very caring. That's you. And
Thank you.
just the level, like you can feel it from you, right? Like once I came across your video, I was like, this is the guy. I need to reach out to this guy. And then I thought, Dublin? What? He's in Ireland?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
I got you.
shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now
I
I'm gonna be
got you.
doing
Yeah.
physical therapy
I
over
can't travel.
Zoom.
Yeah,
What the
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hell?
I know. Yeah, absolutely.
And so
What
we
was
had our
the
first
experience like?
consult, and
Yeah,
I said,
what was the
huh?
experience like? That's important, Kevin, because what you're mentioning is actually very relevant to like we are human and we like the face to face. You treating people
Yes.
like one to one. You assess them. You touch your clients. You basically
Yeah.
feel the differences in their lower back, hip, whatever you're assessing or treating, and you have that experience because you work in healthcare. What was the experience like when you did the online consultation?
So for me, it was like it was putting a whole lot of trust and faith in you.
Yes,
And since I already felt comfortable, like I felt like I knew you, it was an easier jump for me. And I knew that people here in the States, they're not, again, like I said, it's more like sick care instead of health care here.
got you,
So
got
they
you.
don't really they don't really care about putting you back into health. So when I heard that this is a 12-week program. Are you willing to stick to the 12 weeks? Will you
Got
fall?
you.
Like, you were kind of judging my willingness and
Of
my,
course.
my I guess
Commitment.
my drive, my commitment,
Yes,
yeah, to
yes,
stick with it.
absolutely. Yeah,
And that was big for me too, because I'm like, okay, he's going to hold me accountable. He's going to review things with me. We're going to go through a program. It's going to get advanced, 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 and it's going to take me wherever I need to go.
absolutely.
So, week one, with just doing the simple, mobility exercises and the pre-workout stuff, pain was gone within a few days. So that immediately was like, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah,
Within
yeah,
a couple weeks, I remember you had asked, like, I think maybe in after the first month, you had asked, are you having any pain? Pain was completely gone at that point, and you had asked, are you having any fears with bending over or carrying
yeah,
things? Do
yeah. I
you
remember
second
that.
guess yourself? And I thought about it, and I'm like, no, actually, I have not. The
Absolutely.
the underlying fear that most people live with when they have an injury, I didn't have it,
Amazing.
because I was confident in the program that you were putting together, and I felt
Got
it
you.
within my own body within a very short amount of time. And so I
Absolutely.
said, okay, I'm going to dedicate this 12 weeks, and we're going to see where I'm at afterwards. And I
Exactly.
got to tell you, Bob, not only have I gotten stronger in my core, not only has the pain disappeared, but I've gotten physically stronger. My body has thinned out. Like, everything is getting regulated because of the work I'm doing around the core,
I
around my
got you.
spine.
I got you.
So it has been amazing, man. Like, I
Um,
I I never thought it would be this good. I thought, okay, we're gonna go through the 12 weeks, like, I'll have a good solid foundation. No, I feel healed. Like, if I were to get the
Amazing.
MRI right now, I don't think there would be any bulging.
I know
So
what it means.
I'm gonna wait a couple weeks and get another MRI, and then I don't know how I can get my first MRI to you, because it's on a disc,
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
there's like a ton
The
of
pictures.
photos,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know which ones you need to see, but
Of course.
maybe we can figure out a way to do that. Maybe I'll just mail you the disc, and you
100%.
can rummage through it once I get the second MRI to see the before and after.
Of course.
Um, but all in all, like, okay, I like to be in the gym. I like to lift heavy. It's a little bit of a showy thing for guys when you're in the gym, but like,
Yeah.
this whole 12 weeks has been I've been rehabbing. And so it's me in the gym in a whole different way. And I'm watching all these people push weight and on, and I'm using bands, and I'm like doing body weight stuff and
Yeah,
feeling like,
yeah.
a schlep, because I can't do all the weights that I used to do.
Of
And I
course.
just keep reminding myself I'm rebuilding from the core outward. And
Percent.
like I said, Bob, you've changed my life.
Listen, thank you. Like I'm
You've
delighted
changed my
to
life.
really get you to this stage, Kevin. I mean, there's a lot of stages that we have gone through to get you to this stage where you're at right now, which means like your latest routine is pretty advanced. You know what I mean? You do pretty much. I mean, we're gonna go through that and show people like what you do at the moment. But beside that, Kevin, I like the fact that you bring a different perspective of healthcare over there, and it's common pretty much everywhere in the world. I'm not saying that who does better, who does worse, or trying to demonize any practitioner or etc.
Right,
But
of course.
that's the way that the healthcare system has gone, and I think the goal of my channel in YouTube is to create a bit of hope for people like yourself, that there's always ways to recover, and it's not always has to be like
Surgery
invasive,
or
exactly, invasive cases that like people have a fear, or they think actually they're quicker. You know what I mean? Because I don't know, when you got your MRI report, Kevin, what they discussed about your MRI report, or what they told you.
good. So, good question, because I wanted to say something about that as well. So, first of all, I'll tell you what they diagnosed, and
Mm-hmm.
then I'll tell you what they failed to do. Everyone, chiropractor, everyone failed to give me a program on how to fix it myself.
I got you.
That was so frustrating. And
I
then
got you.
right when we connected, you said, I've got a program. Like, I'm going to take you through this. So
Of
what
course.
the diagnosis was a broad bulge. So it was like kind of the disc was squeezing out towards the back, towards the spinal column.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
then the L5S1 was a bit of a bulge protrusion to the right side also. which was I had more dysfunction
Symptoms
on the right
on the
side
right
because the
side. Yeah,
nerves were not sending the proper signals because the disc
exactly.
kept touching.
Yeah,
So um, I know my case was not severe, but shit, man, it felt severe.
of
Like
course. Yeah, like
if
you had a
if you've
proper
ever,
spasm.
yeah, and if for anybody who's listening right now, it doesn't matter how big your bulge is or if it's ruptured or whatever, you need to take care of it, and you need to take care of it sooner than later
Yeah,
because it affects everything. Once the nerves are firing, if there's miscommunication happening, it doesn't matter how much you stretch, doesn't matter what kind of knowledge you have of the musculature and structure of the body, it's not going to help until you fix the issue that's perturbing the nerves that are sending either sending the signals or misfiring and not
of
sending
course.
signals.
Yep.
And so the thing that for again, just the thing that frustrated me the most was my chiropractor, a physical therapist that I spoke to, and another chiropractor. Nobody had a program of like, here's how you fix it. And they said it's going to take a long time. You're 45 now, and da 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 da.
Got you.
And I don't want to believe that shit. Like that's not how I operate. I don't like to believe in limitations. I believe the
Got you.
body can heal quickly if given the opportunity.
100%.
And once I found you, like all of it kind of clicked and came together. And it was like, this is not only opportunity, but this is the program. Follow it and see what happens. And like I said, within a month, completely out of pain, feeling much, much stronger. I remember actually, because when you asked me that question, do you have any trepidation about carrying things or whatever?
Yeah,
I had just printed out some marketing materials and I was holding a box that was over
you were telling
35
me.
pounds.
You were
Yeah.
telling me
And
that.
like I go to put it in my car and I actually leaned forward and lifted that box over something else. And in my head, I'm like, dude, why don't you clear your workspace before you set this thing? I didn't even think about it.
It
And
was
so I
autopilot.
overextended myself and set this box, this over 35-pound box of heavy
Amazing.
paper down in the back seat of my car, not close to me. It was like towards the
Of
middle or
course.
closer to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah, yeah.
side. And it didn't even occur to me that I should not be doing that and taking my center of mass so
Of
far off
course.
center
Of
with
course.
so much weight. And
That's
so
a great
that
point
was
because
another kind of proof in the pudding moment that what we're doing is working. So
absolutely. And
yeah,
like I think this is very relevant, Kevin. What are you saying that because unfortunately our like there's definitely a lot of good therapies or physical therapies or whatever you call it out there. But one of the
yes,
things that I see commonly with my patient who struggle with disc bulges and like when they get their MRI, unfortunately there is not much clarity. Okay, this is the issue. These are the steps that you have to take for your recovery. They don't necessarily provide you even a like a kind of like a positive conversation that listen, the chances that you recover is really high because disc bulges are very common. This is the data that we have now that we know that disc bulges or disc herniation or abnormal changes in our spine, same as anywhere else, it can happen due to just normal aging process in your body. Same as like
yeah,
we have like wrinkles in our skin, gray hair, like etc., which is like happening for anybody as we age. But it does not necessarily always mean that you should be in severe pain. And the funniest part of it is that the data that we have is as we get older, the prevalence of the lower back pain actually dropped, Kevin.
oh,
Yeah,
I didn't
because
know that.
yeah, this is the funniest part that we have this data that as we get older, the lower back pain has a peak age between around let's say 35 to let's say 45 to 50, and after that it drops down. The
Oh wow.
basically this is the data that we have as a paper, and but there is a lot of other factors beyond just disc bulges or herniation that can cause pain in your lumbar spine. But one of the side effects of having an MRI report is that we have a visual a picture that shows some sort of abnormality in your spine. But one of the argument that I have with all of my patients, or that who they think that this is a new thing that has happened overnight, is that MRI doesn't really shows you how long you've been carrying this disc bulge in your life. And
Right.
by now we do have evidence that we know the disc structure and the that basically collagen that we're talking about is not a very weak structure. It's pretty strong.
Yes.
And those changes in our spine doesn't happen very quick. It happens very gradually and is a very normal changes that we have in pretty much majority of population. We're talking about like something beyond 90%, you know what I mean? And
Right.
I believe personally, everybody has this bulges in some stage in their life. And some
Yeah.
people get through it without any issue. And some people, they get some pain or discomfort, but it is very not very consistent to say if you don't do this, you won't have problem with your back. But if you do this, you will have problem with your back. There's
Yeah.
lots of factors that cause pain,
Sure.
and lower back is one of the most common thing. Now, the factors that can really affect lower back pain, I tried to mention this in a lot of video, can be stress, can be lack of sleep, can be new activity, doing too much of new activities, or doing too little, too much rest or sedentary lifestyle, and even some
Posture, people
yeah,
looking at their phones, like just
repetitive
turning the neck like this affects the
repetitive
whole
strain, you
spine.
know what I mean? Yeah, like everybody has a capacity, which means if you keep repetitively doing something in your body, it can be like bending forward, not necessarily is a bad thing, but if you keep doing it in some stage, your body gonna say, okay, this is too much, but it does not necessarily mean that's gonna destroy or damage you this, but you can end up with having some back spasm or pain. Yeah, but the first thing that medical part that asks you to do is to, okay, if we don't know what's going on with you, go get an MRI and we can check it out. And MRI has become like a very quick diagnostic tool, but unfortunately, we know that is not very helpful in majority of cases.
Mm.
Why? Because especially in acute back pain, because a patient with acute back pain, when they know about their MRI that they have changes or degenerative changes in their spine or disc bulges, they could have a way longer recovery time just due to knowing that they have some abnormality in their spine. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And this is something that research has shown. And that's why, as a practitioner, I don't suggest my patient with acute back pain to go get an MRI. Carry on with basically just a rehab plan up to even 6, 8 months. Carry on with it even if you haven't got anything, but I would still not recommend them to go get an MRI. But we look at the signs and symptoms. If it bothered them and like reduce their quality of life, then we can investigate. And if they have different type of like red flag signs and symptoms, like severe cases, they definitely need MRI to figure out maybe something else beyond just the disc bulge. But one thing that happened, as you mentioned, is like it's hugely important that when you get the MRI, nobody tell you, okay, you know what, this is this bulge, this is normal. A lot of people could have had this and they leave normally with no pain and you can recover. And these are the steps to follow. Now, Kevin, if I ask you, okay, then you start to plan and how did you find the progression in regards to things that we do? Did you find like, because we follow up every 2 weeks together within these 12 weeks, because like literally initially you get a commitment of I have to follow these 12 weeks and I have to commit this to this plan. Did you find the plan easy to follow, or maybe I would say, did you find the plan helpful in regards to your needs?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, almost immediately I felt the difference. So for me, I know that, and the chiropractor did say almost everybody has disc bulges, and this is common, it will heal, but it's going to
Fair
take a
enough.
long time. And I thought, I'm not going to believe that. I'm just going to believe that if I can do kind of opposite therapy, so instead of rounding, I'm going to start
Uh-huh.
to open up my chest, to open
Got
up
you.
and kind of align the spine in a way, and then build my musculature so that it holds my spine in that proper
Got
that
you.
proper fashion. I feel like I'll heal quickly, and it did. Like
But like
I
that's so important, Kevin. I think that's like a simple like instinct, message that your body gives you, that you need to start to develop me in area that I'm not being used.
Yeah. And
Right?
I kind of knew that, Bob. Like I knew, okay, I've been working out since I was 15, in and out of the gym, injuries here and there. And, people would say, tighten your core, tighten your core. And I thought that meant your abs. And really, your core is so much more than your abs. And I never knew, never learned, never anything. But through this process, like I knew that this injury, this last kind of recurrence of injury was like, okay, it's a wake up signal.
Yes,
you need to get your core strong. You need to figure out what that is, and you need to
exactly.
focus on that and the musculature that you need to keep that spine healthy. And
Exactly.
so, you know,
But
nobody gave me a plan. You're the only one. You're the only person that said, okay, this is what's happening, this is what we're going to do, and this is how
absolutely.
we're going to take you through the progression. So in the beginning, I thought it was a little too easy just because I pushed myself pretty hard. But I was like, okay, like just listen
Patient.
to Bob. Let's take it. We're gonna check in 2 weeks, and we'll rearrange and we'll reorganize some things.
Got
So
you.
the progression for me was great. And if I felt like I needed a little bit more, then I would do extra reps, or I would add 5 or 10 pounds onto something. So I would then, based on how I felt, I was able to kind of adjust the program as we're going through it, and then you would adjust based on my adjustments, and then we would progress even further.
Amazing.
And
But that's
I
very,
love that. Yeah.
yeah, but that's very important, Kevin, because I think you pinpointing a very important factors because you start to see and feel the progression
Yes.
and start to build that trust with your body again, that to increase that weight even. Do you know what I mean? That's very
Yes.
important, which means in reality, a lot of people that who comes to me online or in clinic has been told to don't do this, don't do that. This is not
Yeah.
good for your back. This is not good for your spine. This is not good for your disc. And I would be totally disagree with those opinions because the reality about our body, as you mentioned earlier, is that our body is very adaptable, and we've been kind of like through a much more through the history. When you look at like human being is like a nature that we adapt to things, no matter what happened to us, we
Yep.
get through it with a bit of adaptation. And this kind of injury is similar because if you find the kind of like a routine that can help you to challenge you gradually but not too much and build you that trust and movement again in your body start to like that, and you start to get
Yes.
that right away. And especially with lower back pain, that trust is a huge is a huge factor, because a lot of people think that, okay, you know what, I just have a sore back, somebody gonna come and fix me, crack me, or fix my posture, and I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
tomorrow you're gonna go to work, you're gonna go and pick up your kids, you're gonna go and do some groceries and or put your luggage in the car, as you mentioned. You need to use that back. Do you gonna have that trust if you get treatment from a passive treatment on the table without doing the practicality and practice that movement? that
Yeah.
is that is so important, isn't it? Which means you
Yes.
start to literally build that trust in this program. Not that I'm saying this program is a magic program, but simplifying the task and give you step that you can gradually build up that trust. Because you
Yes.
can go out now, Kevin, and say, you know what, I feel confidence about my back and I'm pain free. If I even get sore in, I don't know, 5 months time, 6 months time, I have some idea what should I do. Maybe I did a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to stop doing maybe some of the stuff that I'm doing now. Maybe I'm doing a little bit too little. Let's
Yeah.
look at it that way. And I think that's a huge independency that I like to mention that you get from this program. And
Yes.
you build that trust again with your body.
Yeah, because once you have that, then you're able to self-regulate. Like I was telling you, you know, oh, I changed this exercise, or for instance, like the seated forward flexion.
Yes.
There was nothing to sit on at the gym, so I told you, okay, I just put my back against the wall, make sure it was flat, and I was
Yep.
sitting, but against the wall, and then I did, you know, the
Leaning
forward
forward.
extensions from there. And you're like,
Yeah.
well, that's actually an advanced move. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know, but I felt like I should do this. So because of the confidence I gained, not only from how I was feeling different within that first few weeks of, you know, first 3 4 weeks of the program, but also my confidence in you, which I, you know, I have to, for those people that are listening, like, trust in your practitioner is
Huge.
so important, because the
Absolutely.
program is the program. The program can change, it can be manipulated and regulated, but
Absolutely.
it was more my trust in you that helped me to get through the program. And I'll be
Absolutely.
honest, like you said, to do those exercises twice a day, but I only had time for once a day.
Absolutely.
And still I felt tremendous improvement rather quickly.
Amazing,
And
amazing.
so I, you know,
Like that's so true, Kevin, and that is you're damn right in regards to trust, because one of the things about the online consultation is that like you don't have that opportunity to see the clients here in the clinic, you know what I mean, and you work with people, you know that you definitely can create a better relationship, better understanding, communication, etc. with your clients. But you're spot on, which means people who are getting this program, and I've had like many successful story, but I do have people who join this program, and from the first day I can sense that they're not 100% buying the idea, and that's
yeah,
totally fine, and that's a normal practice, you know what I mean. And I tell them like, listen, maybe you should get somebody in your local area that you live, because
yeah,
nobody like literally wants to like literally keep you on a program that you can't really see changes and
yeah,
improvement. And
of
in
course not.
that
And
sense, you're
that's
damn right. If you don't trust your practitioner, even if you go into the like an in clinic patient, you won't get trust, and you
right.
won't get results. You know what I mean? Which means you got to see somebody else. But Kevin, one other things that I wanted to share with you in regards to, like, let's say you treating your own patient over there, like
Mhm.
you definitely gonna see people with back pain. What do you think you learned from this program that you could actually translate in a simplified version to people with back pain? And what do you find helpful in this plan, like in regards to your recovery?
So the most helpful, and I think we've talked about this. Now we'll talk about it on video. The most helpful was all the core work that we were doing. So the bird dog, the dead bug,
Yeah.
like the reverse crunch, it like everything that engaged the core.
Yep.
If you can engage the core properly, the core will help to ameliorate everything
The
else
whole
that's
body.
happening, because all your other muscles are compensating for a weak core
I
is
get
what
you.
I
I get
realized.
you. I get you.
And so if the core is weak, and the glutes have a big role to play in the core from kinetic chain bottom up.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's what I notice. So if I notice clients that have a weak glute, or if I notice stiffness in the back, then
Mm-hmm.
now I know what I can help them with based on what I've experienced myself. So through experience, I have this knowledge and this confidence to share with others on what
Absolutely.
they can do to help ameliorate their situations, even if it's not like a super bulging disc or anything like that. At least give them the basics that they can start to correct the posture and correct the issues that they may have unknowingly created through bad posture, through staring at your phone, through
I
standing
got
on
you.
one leg, all these different things that cause dysfunction over time.
Of course, like basically give them that basic that you mentioned. That basic is so important. Like there's no magical exercise that we do in this routine.
Right.
They're like
All
movements.
of it works together. Yeah.
Yeah, there are like movements and using your whole body. And I mean, consideration of the core, you're using your whole body in routine, upper body, lower body, and we emphasize a lot on the glutes, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
One of the area that like people like trying to really kind of like I think overemphasize is that, okay, I need one magic exercise to do and I'm gonna get better. There's no such thing. It's
No
all
such
comes
thing.
as a whole. And I think if you look at it here,
If there is a such
yeah,
thing, you
yeah,
wouldn't be able to do it in a condition where you're not healed. You know what I mean? You couldn't do it
absolutely,
from an injured
absolutely,
position.
yeah,
If there
absolutely.
was one exercise, you would have to be very, very fit to be able to do that one exercise. Yeah.
100%. And one thing that you got to look at, Kevin, like by this stage, when you go to the gym, you get a proper workout out of your routine. What's your routine involved right now, Kevin, in this stage, in the last I suppose 2-3 weeks?
So in the past 2 3 weeks, it's been a little bit different. So the past 2 weeks, I haven't been able to do anything because, well, one, I was on vacation in Cancun, and
Yeah.
who wants to work out on in vacation?
Yeah.
Although I did 2 days, I did.
Good
I brought
stuff.
my bands with me. I got
Amazing.
kicked out of the gym for not having shoes. I mean, who brings shoes to the beach, right? So they kicked me
Okay.
out of the gym, and I'm like, thankfully I have my bands. And then so I did a couple workouts, but then the rest was for
Of
naught. And then
course.
when I
Yeah.
came back from Cancun, I was sick to my stomach for a week. So I might have eaten something bad in the airport or
I
whatever. So
got
the
you.
past 2 weeks, I haven't done anything but rest.
I got you.
And I feel even better. Like coming back into
Your
the
body
gym, I
need a bit of
feel
rest.
even stronger than before and thinner, and like I don't know how to describe it.
You
So
feel
the
fitter,
rest was key at the end there.
of course.
Um, I don't remember your question. Sorry.
In regards to kind of intensity of the exercises, I think now I just want to
Oh,
kind of
so
like
what am I
share,
doing now?
yeah,
Okay.
like what like because I think one of the question people that they may ask, okay, how intense can you go in the gym? With consideration of having a disc bulge, can you do deadlift? Can you do squat? Can you do things that are intense?
Yeah.
Like I want you to answer that question because I think some
So
people,
for me, I
yeah,
didn't want to go heavy with anything. So I focused, like we talked about, I focused on doing everything slowly.
got you.
So engaging the
Hmm.
muscles in the contraction and the eccentric phase. So for instance, doing a goblet squat, right?
Yes,
So doing the goblet squat, I would go down, engage my glutes, come
yeah,
up, but I would keep my glutes engaged even when
yes,
I would go down.
I got you.
So it was intense, but it was not heavy.
Of course,
So it sent the signal like, hey, we need you to work glute
got you,
muscles. We need you to fire. We need you to
got you,
activate. And wasn't using heavy weights. When I started using the weights, it was 25 pounds
got you.
on each hand while doing that. So the intensity was different in that it was not intensity because of the heaviness of the weight, but
Of
it was
course,
intensity because of the focus
and
with which
intention.
everything, yeah, with
That
which
focus is
everything is being done.
that focus is huge. All right. I suppose like Kevin, like I couldn't be happier, man. Like, where you at. And I think, people can hear from your voice, man, where you at in regards to your recovery, because I believe one of the most important things is that you're not only pain-free, you're independent in what you do now. And I think if you decided to go to your chiropractor or massage therapist or physio, whoever you've seen there, you still have a choice to go, but it's not about go there, get quick fix and just get back and be in the same place. The reality with the back pain that I try to really reemphasize with people is that getting pain free with a sore back, it's the easiest part of the treatment. You can be pain free by doing nothing and resting. And I have this conversation even with one of my patient in China yesterday, because he mentioned that he went to a holiday and he feels better, you know what I mean? And he missed a couple of the session and he thinks that if he doesn't do the exercises, he probably feel better. But I told him like, okay, I would say probably I would challenge you that because you probably have less stress. He run his own business, and I told him like you probably have less stress while you're in holiday, and you're simply feeling better. Which means one of the factors that can cause you back pain could be
Sure.
maybe stress level, and is not necessarily exercise because you definitely have less pain in consideration of where you started. But for people who has lower back pain or due to disc bulges, herniation, and they've been told that okay, rest is a good thing, and they just make them like these quick fixes. Okay, go see this person, and he's going to help you and fix you. And the issue with those type of concept is that you can get pain free, but just think about that. How much you would be comfortable to go back and do things that challenge your back, and how much trust you have about your back. Would you be able to go and lift, I don't know, your kid again and just play with them normally? Or would you go for a hike? You know what I mean? Comfortable. Would you go for a run again? Because there's a lot of things that come around lower back pain that people has been told to not
Avoiding.
do and demonized and say, okay, running is bad, high impact exercise are bad. Don't do lifting because it's really going to hurt your back. Don't bend because it's going to hurt your back, which is not necessarily true.
Just
And
be a board.
I know, yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of phobia about okay, you have to improve your posture, and people literally walk like a literally robot, or sit
Yeah.
like, and they don't even breathe anymore, and that can cause a lot of long-term impact, bad impact in their lifestyle and their overall kind of like quality of life, which is I think I would tell them like don't buy that because if you are not challenging your body and not creating those adaptations that you mentioned earlier, you're always going to live in a fear and you don't want.
Yes. I have a family member whose back has been hurting for 25, 30 years. Can't carry luggage. This person can't, like, won't do anything. Oh, my back, my back. Can you do this for me?
I got you.
And I'm thinking to myself, especially as I'm going through this program, I'm like, God, like 6 weeks would fix his problem for good.
I
Like
know
he
what I
would
mean.
do a 6 week program and then just carry it through on
I
his
get you.
own.
I get you.
And he can carry his own luggage and he can do everything he needs to do, but he carries the excuse instead. He carries
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fear
But
instead of just
that's
doing
real,
it.
Kevin. You know, that's what you're saying is real, because those type of back pain, it become like a real phobia, and it
Yep.
create a lot of catastrophe for patient. And I have had them by my own, in my own clinic and online, and
Mhm.
it become like a total, like a lifestyle changes, which means you start to
Yeah.
not do a lot of things
And
and
then
stop
everything is
doing.
fear.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, I could say I take that blame as a therapist, because a lot of therapists out there, I mean, it can be a GP, it can be a chiropractor, it can be a physio, it can be physical therapy, any of us, you know, who promote them this type of information that you shouldn't do things. I can blame them, because literally I've learned to tell my patient that back pain is common in majority of cases. Up to
Yeah.
90, I would say 8% are not serious, and that's what
Right.
expertise knows, and we actually promote this to patients. And in majority of cases, you have to learn what is the cause of your back pain, not necessarily structural damages we're talking about lifestyle changes, or
Right.
things that you're not doing right in your daily activities, you know. And based on those changes, you can hugely improve your recovery. And I think that's why I would say my success rate with people online, you know, that I don't even touch their back, is
Yeah.
hugely successful, because people start to understand just beyond just their tissue damage and their MRI report. And I think that's hugely helped me to promote this program to people like yourself, because I have trust on it, because my goal is not to get you just pain free. My goal is to get you independent and
Yeah.
challenge you,
Heal. Yeah.
and get you back to what you love to do, because you used to train, you used to play around, you used to do things, you know, in the gym, and you now go to the gym and you sweat and you feel great. All those good hormones that your body has
Yeah.
spice out, you know what I mean, which means you get that perfect like high from your workout and you feel
Yeah.
good in here. And that's so important for human being to get those good hormones, that they are real painkiller, they basically happy hormones that get you in a different zone. Kevin, we can talk for hours, man. You know, it's really a pleasure to talk to you. I want to ask you
Thank you.
something, like you doing something similar over there, like you helping your patient over there with your, I suppose, practitioner, you helping people, how people can, I suppose, reach out to you if they need help. What do you do, Kevin, there? Maybe just describe, because the technically, like I've had a chance to meet you online, you know what I mean, from across the world. And generally, I believe you do have a concept that can help people, like with within your own scope of practice, because I think you work, you think beyond the box, and you literally see human being as it is, because we are adaptable. We can
Yeah.
learn, we can unlearn things that we have done. And how people can find you? Where do you base, Kevin?
I'm in Southern California, but basically from Los Angeles County up to Ventura County and Santa Barbara. But before I get into me, what I'd like to say is what's super important for anyone that's listening is that the body itself is a healing mechanism. You call it adaptability. And our body has the capacity, all it's doing is healing itself on a daily basis from all the stuff we're
Absolutely.
doing to it. And
Absolutely.
you, Bob, have provided the space for my body to heal itself faster. And I
Thank you.
think that's one of the key things that I wanted to mention earlier, but I forgot, is that the body wants to heal. It wants to. That's
Absolutely.
its job, is to
Absolutely.
keep everything in balance and keep. So as long as we can create an environment that allows for that,
That
the
is so
healing
true.
can happen very, very quickly.
You're damn right. No, I'm totally agree about that, because that environment that you mentioned is is a balance, intensity, and workout, and rest, and a food, and mindset. Because you
And
need to
water,
have all of
and
that.
yes.
You need to all have all of that, because that's how
Yeah.
we basically repair. You're damn right. I totally believe in that. Thank you for sharing that, Kevin.
Yeah,
That's really
absolutely. And thank
valuable.
you. just thank you for doing what you do and with the amount of heart that you do it,
Thank you.
because you can tell from the questions that you ask that you're actually interested, that you want the person to be better, and that does wonders for the person across from you, whether physically
Thank you.
or over the digital.
Thank
And
you.
that's what I
Thank
try
you.
to share with my clients as well, is that the body wants to heal itself. And what I do, as you know, I do energy healing. I teach
Amazing.
um, holotropic breath work to help people to heal. I do massage mixed with energy healing. And essentially, what I do is I try to create the environment for the body to heal
Amazing.
itself, more than just on the physical level, on the energetic level. Because everything,
Absolutely.
you talk to a quantum physicist, and everything physical is really just energy. So
Absolutely.
what I try to do, and this has been my calling, and so it makes sense that I get injured and I have to figure out how to heal myself and work with people like you, because I have to then turn around and teach and help other people by
Absolutely.
sharing what I've experienced and what I've gone through. So being a healer and being somebody that works in body work does not preclude you from injuries and things. And so what I will say is this: I was asking for my purpose, and long story short, and there's other interviews I have online that go into my story further. Um, long story short, I help the body to heal on a physical and energetic, which includes mental, emotional level. And I do that through physical touch, I do that through energetic touch, and I do that through spiritual counseling.
Amazing.
So all of it, if you can get your mind right, like what we were talking about, how like the mind has a lot to play in this, and stress and what have you. If you can get your mind right and your energy right and your body right, you will have very few problems in this lifetime. So my goal
100%.
as a massage therapist and as a healer for almost 15 years now is, my goal is to get people to a place where they can feel confident enough to do it themselves. Like
Amazing.
I don't want clients for life. I
Of
want to be
course.
able to hold your hand for a short amount of time, and then you to feel confident enough to let go of my hand and walk forward confidently. And I know that
Amazing.
you're the same. And so
Absolutely.
that's another thing that I really
Absolutely.
enjoyed about working with you. So
Amazing.
this is what I do for my clients on a regular basis: massage with energy healing sessions straight away, spiritual counseling, breath work. Breath work helps to really move a lot of the energy that gets stuck in the
100%.
body. Um,
100%.
so all of those things kind of wrapped up into one. The company name is called Inner Shift Healing,
Amazing.
because everything happens from the inside out. Like even on the physical level, the work we've been
You're
doing
damn
together,
right.
I just found it so funny that that's the name of my business. That's what I help people do on the mental, emotional, energetic levels. And then you're bringing me to the last piece, which is on the physical level,
I
which is
got you.
something I should have started with,
Yeah, but
but
like I
it's
think
never
this
too
is
late.
no, but this is all connected, Kevin. I
Yes.
believe, like, what you're mentioning here is hugely important for people to understand that, like, we never stop learning. You know what I mean? And your body is definitely have all the tools to heal itself. We just
Yes.
trying to, like, I'm based on this program. I can definitely be 100% agree with you that whatever we do is to give more awareness to people, give more information, and create a new beliefs, and give them hope that they can recover, because they do recover anyway. That's what we
Yeah.
do.
And
And
create the environment for the body to heal itself, for sure.
absolutely, and movement and your mindset can hugely affect that. And
Absolutely.
genuinely, whatever you do there, Kevin, I believe your personality, your energy is shining from the camera, man. I no hesitation. Seriously, I believe that, because genuinely,
Thank you.
whenever we have a chat, I feel great. I feel the energy that you have, and that's really help people who has pain. I believe people who do work with you, they see that impact right away, because you do have a personality that you want to help people. And I'm happy that we connected.
Me
Honestly, I
too.
think we have to do one of those. I would love to share your breath work that you do with clients. If you ever want to, like, I have this live now, I would love to do that live session. If you want to, with people, I would like to share what you do, and people can get more information from what you do, because I think breath work can hugely help people. I 100% believe in that, because it's connected with our overall system,
The
and
whole thing.
with the stress level that we have in these days, you know, with all this amount of, like, I suppose, social media, like bad news, all things go around lifestyles. People are really not really utilizing their breathing very well. We know that.
No. Yeah.
100%. And like, let me know if you're interested, Kevin. We can have another video and share with people like what you do and teach them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
absolutely. I'd love to.
I would like to share your website underneath of this video, Kevin, that people can get through you over there. You mentioned about the name of the website. I do have the name. I will share that with them, and I suppose they can be in touch with you. Is there anything else that you'd like to share, Kevin?
No, I just want to tell anybody who's feeling hesitant at all, just take the chance, talk with Bob, take a minute out of your day or 10 or 20, have a conversation and see how you
Thank
feel
you.
afterwards. Because the
Thank you.
same energy that you feel from me, like that presence that I carry, I feel that from you.
Thank you, man.
So
Thank you.
just anybody who's listening, please give him a shot. Like at least
You're my man.
feel into the work, put your doubts aside, and just give Bob a chance. Because I never thought I'd be working with somebody in Ireland, and I'm here in Southern California.
Yeah,
And I
man.
remember
Yeah.
thinking, "Holy shit, he's in Ireland! What am I doing?"
Yeah. I know what I mean.
And
But
it's some of the best money and time spent. The past 12 weeks has been incredible, Bob.
thank you,
So
Kevin. I really appreciate, man, your
from
comments
my heart,
and
thank
your
you.
time. Thank you, man. Thank you. Same here, Kevin. It's been great to meet you. I appreciate your time. We will be in touch. You know what I mean. And I will basically would love to know more about what you do and share that with people like yourself. You know, because I think there's a lot of people can get advantages of what you do over there, and why not?
Sure.
You know, because we
Yeah,
are working on a similar kind of industry, and you can help people over there as well. Kevin, thanks again
that's the whole
for your
idea.
time, and I appreciate your time again, man. I hope you guys find this video helpful. If you're suffering from disc bulges, any part of your spine, and if you're concerned about your injury and you've got an MRI report that shows that you do have abnormality in your spine, I can 100% guarantee you that you do have a chance to recover with initially conservative treatment. And if you never tried, you never know. As you can see, you have to be consistent with the exercise routine. You have to trust the process. And if you have any concern or question, you can always ask me underneath of this video. If you need further assistance, you can always contact me through my website. I leave a link below, and we can customize and create a plan that suits your needs and get you started right away. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, make sure to subscribe. And if you haven't liked this video, please like and share this video with your friends and family who may need this information. Until next week, all the best.